I know we're balls deep into summer here, but I want to talk about what I would consider my favorite summer JRPGs. JRPGs to play during the summertime. I gotta give an honorable mention to 2 games that I have not played yet. I played the demo for one, and I really want to play the other. I'm starting the first one very, very soon, and that is Visions of Mana. The landscapes, the world, everything just looks so lush with nature. It just looks like the ultimate summer game experience. I can't wait to play it. I mean, I loved Secret of Mana, I loved Trials of Mana, and to have that fully realized in a 3D environment with that same art style, and it's just so nature-centric, and to me that's what summer is. It's getting out in nature and experiencing the fresh air and just enjoying that summer sun. The other one is, of course, Yakuza 8, or Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. This game takes place, as far as I know, in like Hawaii or Okinawa or both. I'm not too sure. I haven't played it yet, but I love the Yakuza series, and there's a lot of like beach themed, kind of vacation area themed locations going on in, from what I can tell from the trailers, and it's another game I really want to play at some point soon, but I just kind of wanted to give it an honorable mention here. But now let's get into my first entry, which is Grandia. To me, Grandia is like a childhood adventure that you would have in the summertime. For me, I would always go to my grandparents' place in the summertime. They had a farm about 20 minutes from where I grew up, and I would spend all summer there, and we would have all kinds of adventures. Myself and my cousins and friends would even come out and stay with us, and I just remember those adventures as a kid. There was like woods nearby, we would play in the woods, we would kind of explore out in the fields and in the yard, and there was just so much to do, and I feel like that's the same adventure that you go on in the original Grandia. The point of the original Grandia is to get over the Great Wall. I can't remember exactly what it's called. It's been a while since I played it, but there's like the wall where they think the world ends, but then once you finally push past that wall, you see there's a whole world out there yet to explore. And I just feel that sense of exploration, that sense of kind of pushing your limits of where you've explored and exploring past those limits is what Grandia is a perfect representation of. And to me, that's what summer was as a kid growing up. It was that freedom that you had to kind of push past boundaries that you could never push past when you had school, because you'd have to be home at a certain time. It's just that sense of exploration that Grandia gives you, and experiencing it as like a young kid is what's absolutely perfect as a summer JRPG for me, and that is why Grandia is one of my picks. Next up, you're gonna think it's weird, but Legend of Dragoon had so many great locations that I would love to vacation to. Pretty much any town that starts with the letter F, like Fueno, Fernie, and Fletz, they have such good like kind of coastal towns. There's plenty of water nearby. I love coastal towns, man. Whenever I travel, my favorite places to go to are always coastal towns, and Legend of Dragoon has that in droves, and they all look so cozy and tropical and fun. Even the ones that aren't tropical, they're lush with nature. They've got a lot of like forest in them. They've got a lot of like plants. They got a lot of flowers, and it just feels like summer. The other reason Legend of Dragoon feels like summer for me is because I remember picking this game up before summer, and my parents would always go camping. They'd drag me all the way across the country, going to all these campsites, and I would be bored as shit when I was a kid, because most of it was just driving, which was just mind-numbingly boring. But then when we would get to these places, yeah, we do some camping, we do some fishing, which of course I love fishing. But in the evenings, again, I would have nothing to really do. So I remember the year I got Legend of Dragoon, I convinced my parents to let me bring a TV and the PlayStation along with, because I had just gotten this game, and I just remember playing it all summer holiday long. We had a tent trailer that we would camp in, and I just remember playing Legend of Dragoon all summer that summer. I mean, Maru, the town you get Maru in, that part just resonates with me. The Winglies, the colors, like that blue kind of blue sky, and the greenery, and then of course all the coastal towns in Legend of Dragoon make it one of my picks as a great summer JRPG. Next up is a road trip with the boys in Final Fantasy 15. A lot of people don't really like Final Fantasy 15 because it strays from what a Final Fantasy game should be, and I totally agree with that, but at the same time, it's still a good game in my opinion. I love the road trip feel with the boys. Of course, there's an excellent, probably one of the best fishing minigames of all time. In fact, I would consider Final Fantasy 15 to be the most badass fishing game of all time. If you watch, I did a whole video on how Final Fantasy 15 is the best fishing game of all time, and it really is. Watch that video. I go into high detail as to why Final Fantasy 15 is not a JRPG, but in fact a fishing game. But yeah, love Final Fantasy 15, love the locations, love the freedom of exploring the world, and I love the fact that you're just camping out on a road trip with your best friends with Coleman advertising shoved down your throat at any opportunity. But I just love it, man. It just feels like camping with your friends. Next up is Pokemon Sun and Moon. I love the fresh take on the franchise that this game had. I also loved picking up Pokemon Moon and being able to actually play the game in daylight, because I can generally only play JRPGs in the evenings. So since Pokemon Silver on the Game Boy Color, I've only really played at nighttime when I play the Pokemon game. So it was nice. Moon kind of switches it, so when it's nighttime in our world, it's daytime in the world of Pokemon Moon. So it was pretty sweet to be able to play in the daylight in that game, and it just takes place in a Hawaii-like setting, so you're constantly going between like beach locations, and it just has a summer vibe. Professor Oak, or a relative of Professor Oak, has got like a surfer mullet. It's just awesome. I love the Alolan variations of the Pokemon. I love the islands. I love the world, and I loved pretty much everything about Pokemon Sun and Moon. It's the last good Pokemon game in my opinion. I have heard Ultra Sun and Ultra Moon is even better. Have not played it yet, but I really like the summer vibes of Pokemon Sun and Moon. Now we're getting into some of the best JRPGs of all time that just also happen to be great summer JRPGs, starting with Chrono Cross. Man, the art style alone gives this such a summer vibe. The entirety of the game takes place on like just a few different islands, so you always have like that island feel, that island vibe at all times. The music is phenomenal. The music is basically if you took Chrono Trigger's soundtrack, which is one of the best soundtracks of all time, and enhanced it. It's got more of a tropical vibe to it, the music, and just the locations are so well done. Everywhere has a summer vibe, no matter how dark and grim it gets. When it's dark and grim, it just feels like a cool summer evening. I did a top 10 JRPG art styles, and I think Chrono Cross was #1 on that list. But yeah, Chrono Cross absolutely nails that summer vibe, nails the summer locations. Even the characters' outfits are just scream summertime. The tropical look and feel of this game is pretty much unmatched in the genre. Next up is another game with a tropical kind of island style motif, and that would be Final Fantasy X. Final Fantasy X takes place again on a series of different kind of islands. You're kind of going from island to island on this pilgrimage. It's almost all summer other than Mount Gagazet. Like, it just has that excellent summer feel. All the characters other than Kamari, who sucks anyways, is dressed in these excellent like kind of summer outfits. I mean, Kamari's basically naked, so he's also dressed in a summer outfit, but he's from Mount Gagazet, which is kind of a winter location. You've got Blitzball, which is essentially underwater soccer crossed with water polo. Kind of the main island is Besaid Island, which is of course a tropical island. There's beaches everywhere. This game just screams summer. Even at night, kind of like what I said about Chrono Cross, at night it just feels like, you know, when you're like camping and you're kind of out in the woods and it's just like that nice dark cool breeze, that crisp cool summer breeze. It just has that feel even in like kind of the darker areas of the game. I absolutely love Final Fantasy X. It's one of the best JRPGs of all time, and I feel like it absolutely nails that summer feeling throughout the entirety of the game. Now, last but not least, this is a game I would probably put above all the others on the list, and maybe Final Fantasy and Chrono Trigger would match that summer vibe more, but Xenoblade Chronicles is just a better game in every single way, and I love it so much. You got these two landscapes, the Bionis and the Mechonis, who are basically giant-ass titans that went to war years and years ago and got frozen in time as these two giant land masses that you get to explore. I feel like the biggest part of summer to me is just exploration. You get that chance when you're, especially as a kid, to explore as much as possible, and Xenoblade Chronicles captures that sense of exploration perfectly. This game is constantly rewarding you for exploring new areas. Most of the areas, especially on the Bionis, are just like summertime giant fields of grass or giant lakes of water when you get closer to the top. I absolutely love the world of Xenoblade Chronicles, and it does such a good job of feeling like you're just out exploring in the hot summer sun, and that's why I put it here kind of at my top spot on the list. All these games are absolutely excellent. Be sure to check them out if you haven't yet. Also, if you haven't yet and you enjoyed this video, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn notifications to all so you won't miss the next one. You can also check me out both here and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Dookie03. I stream at least 3 nights per week. We're likely playing Visions of Mana right now. Every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday night, we've got a stream for you, as well as Saturday mornings, we've been playing Dragon Quest X. We're on version 6 right now. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have subscribed, I'll see you guys in the next one.